Alright guys, so I'm back. Thanks for all the messages by the way, really appreciate that. Still not feeling 100%, but a hell of a lot better than I was. So, getting around to doing this video. Here's the review of a new Microbrand from California. This is actually their first watch. They've already done a previous run, but this is a new run they're doing a couple of different colours, but we'll get into that as we get into the review. Full disclosure, I was sent the watch for free. Don't have to send it back, but you know the score. Not going to change the way I do my reviews, going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So, question is it going to be any good? Are you going to be interested in picking one up? Let's get down to it and find out. So, here's the box it comes in. I forgot to actually mention the name in the intro, so that's what it is. I'm going to say Dumoreau, or Dumoreau, something like that. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But anyway, that's what it is. And then we've got the California on there as well. So this is the box it comes in. But then we've actually got another box inside, which is actually pretty nice. Before we get to that, got the instruction manual. Not interested in that really. Got branded cleaning cloth. And then we've actually got the proper box inside here. So if I get this out, pop all this to one side for a minute. So this is the actual box it comes in. Nice kind of piano black style finish. It does attract marks and like fingerprints and everything quite a lot though. But when it's new it does look good. Just a little push button there as well. Pop it open. Got like a velvet kind of suede type thing on the inside. The branding, and then got the watch. Pop that to one side for a second. Show you what else is in here. So I've just got the links I've taken out. I'm assuming the actual thing will have a warranty card as well, but mine didn't. But anyway, if you've got a bigger than 7-inch wrist, getting the right size should be alright, because plenty of spare links. And these are actually screw links as well, although they are really small. But if you have your standard screwdriver for most watches, it'll work well enough. So here's the actual watch itself. And it is a really good looking piece, I think. So they actually do a couple of different dial colours of this. So you've got this blue one, but they've also got one that I'd say is a salmon colour, but for some reason on the listing it says it's copper, but it definitely looks more salmon. But I'll show you pictures on screen so you can see what that's like. So seeing as we talk about it, let's get a zoom in on that dial and get a closer look. So we've got that waffle style kind of design, and then we've also got a sunburst on that as well, which is nice. Do like the effect of that. And then we've got applied indices, printed branding at the top, and then just automatic at the bottom. So not over cluttered, which is good. Do like to see that. Really don't like it when you get tons of writing on the dials on some brands, so I'm glad they've kept it to a minimum. Now, when we turn around to the side, we've got some interesting details here. First thing you're probably going to notice, well actually, could be either that case where it's been cut in, or it might be that crown. So yes, that is actually a square crown we've got there. This is one of the slight issues I do have with this watch, to be honest. It's nice that it's branded, so we've got the branding on there, but you could probably see, as well as it being square, it's also got no grip to it. So the grip basically comes from it being square. So it's not the easiest to use. So if I was going to change something straight away, I'd probably change that for a more traditional crown. But I guess I kind of see what they were going for. Trying to keep it angular like the case. But it doesn't quite work for me. Possibly if they added some grip, maybe I wouldn't mind it too much. But the way it is at the moment, they need to tweak it slightly, I think. But getting back to that case shape, I do really like that. It's nicely finished as well. And then we've got the same on the other side. So that's fully brushed. And then we've got that polished bezel. And then we've got that flat crystal on there. We'll be checking in a bit whether that's sapphire. So we've actually got an integrated bracelet as well. So you won't be able to swap the bracelet out on this one. Seeing as we're around here, actually, let's talk about this as well. Because it is a nice bracelet. Really nice taper on that. Nice detailing and finishing. Those polished edges, with the rest of it just being brushed. And then we've got the branding again. That way around. and then it's just double pushers and butterfly clasp. So we've got assembled in California, sapphire crystal, Miyota 9039, so that's the no date version of the 9015. The fact that it's stainless steel and water resistant, 100 meters, and then it is just actually screwed with screws, the case back. And then when it comes to fasten it back up, you have to do this side first, because then with this one, it goes over and that clips in on the top there. So make sure you get that the right way around, otherwise it won't shut. So as soon as we've touched on it, let's test whether it is actually sapphire. Using the trusty Diamond Selector 2. And yeah, we have got sapphire crystal. So that's always good to see. Now, let's get on to the measurements of this. So we've got a thickness of 10.2, diameter of 38.5. I won't bother doing the lug width because we've got integrated bracelets, so there's not a lot of point in doing that measurement because you can't swap it anyway. Now with the lug to lug, because we've got protruding male end links, it does actually stick out a little bit further than the case, but they do taper down pretty quickly. So I'm going to try and show you what this is like, but you'll probably have to wait to see what it's like on wrist really, because it doesn't really fit with either of these. So the actual lug to lug is coming in at about 46.3, 46.2, something like that. But then when you take into account the male end links, it's more like 49.5, but again it doesn't wear like that either. It wears somewhere in between the two, but I'll show you that in a bit. So let's talk a bit more about that movement and also that crown as well. So as I was saying, not the easiest to grip, so you have to grab it on one of the flat edges obviously and kind of scrub it like that. It works, but it's not the most comfortable or the most intuitive, I guess. And then because it's the no date specific version, we've got the one position. So pull it out, second hand stops, we've got hacking. And then obviously we can just change the time. Pop it back in, second hand re-engages. And then screw it back down again. So this is where it's a little bit awkward. Again, you have to just grip it and then not move your fingers with it, like rolling it almost, just kind of grip it and move your whole hand, if that makes sense. Because of that odd shape and the lack of grip. It's functional, it's just not ideal really. So now, let's check out what the Lume's like on this. So you can see we've got a little bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there we go. So it's actually pretty impressive, the Lume on this. So it's BGW9, and it is, as I say, I wasn't expecting the Lume to be this good, to be honest. So I was really nicely surprised. Really good, really usable. No patchiness. No bits brighter than others. It's consistent across the hands and the indices. Really good to see. Lasted a decent amount of time as well. So they've got a fair few layers on there. Again, impressive Lume. So all that's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, talk about the price, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And as I said, even though it's got those protruding male end links, it does wear really nicely on wrist still, because they curve down pretty much straight away. And I do really like this case design. That cut out bit just adds a nice interesting bit of detail. And I like the contrast between the brushed and the polished bit, with that bezel as well. And again, same with that bracelet, the way the light catches those little polished details on the edge. It's really nice. Is the butterfly clasp a little bit of an issue? Possibly, because you don't have micro adjust, so you might struggle to get the perfect size. But with my 7-inch wrist, I've not had an issue with that. Got the perfect fit. but it is something to bear in mind. So as I said, there's two different versions of this. There's this blue dial, and then there's a salmon one. There's going to be limited numbers of both. So the blue one, there's only going to be 140 pieces, and then with the salmon one, there's only going to be 50. And as far as I know, that's it. Once they're gone, that's it. So if you do want to pick one up, you might want to be quick. So the price of this, it's going to be $395. That works out to about £292. So obviously it's not going to be as good price-wise compared to AliExpress watches, but I think for a Microbrand, the specs you're getting and the finish you're getting, with that high beat Miyota movement, no date specific one as well, that really nice dial, really nice case detailing. Only slight issue I have is that crown. I think they need to change that up slightly, either add a bit of grip or change the shape, or possibly both. But other than that, I don't really have any issues with it at all. So if you like the look of it, and you are interested in picking one up, links are down in the description as always. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.